Story 1. Husband suing his ex-wife for custody. And I'm worried. I had been with my now husband for a little over a year when we got married this past October. It's my first marriage and his second. He has a 4-year-old with his ex. Kiddo is awesome and I love him to bits. I don't have much contact with his ex. Currently it's 50-50 custody, but that's bound to change when Kiddo starts kindergarten in the fall. My husband explained their split by saying she cheated and ended the marriage, and I've never had any reason to question that. Now, tensions are rising because Kiddo is supposed to start kindergarten. My husband filed with the court requesting primary custody and for Kid to go to school in our town. His ex claims that when they were in divorce mediation, they agreed the kid should go to the best school district possible, but they didn't name it as they didn't know where they'd be living in 3 years. Now, 3 years later, the time has come and I don't know what to believe. Ex-wife lives in a better ranked district, think 30th ranked in the state, versus ours which is 57th. Or the elementary school in her town is ranked 810 versus ours 510, and wants Kiddo to go to school in her town. DH told me she recently broke off her engagement to move to a better district, to spite him, so he filed requesting Kid go to our town's schools. When I ask if he agreed to the better district plan 3 years ago, he gets evasive. Ex said she ended her engagement and moved because her fiancé changed his mind about moving to a better district. Here's the thing, I can't shake the feeling that my husband is in the wrong. I know he loves his kid and he is a great dad, but we are also highly educated people and want the best for our kid. To me, that means sending Kiddo to the best district, even if it's not ours. We had planned to move to a better district, which would have been ranked higher than X's, but the pandemic housing boom priced us out, so we moved to a bigger house in the same town instead. So keeping Kid around school friends isn't a factor because they're in preschool, in a different town than either parent lives. In his filing, my husband claimed that his ex's living situation was unstable, which I don't believe to be true as she bought a condo. If I bring it up, he gets very defensive. In my opinion, she is a good mother. I love my husband, but I can't shake the feeling that he is acting selfish out of spite, trying to change the rules to suit him because things aren't going his way. He is the most stubborn person I've ever met, and I have gotten the impression his mother, my MIL, raised him to believe that is okay. The idea that he is suing his ex in order to send their child to a worse school district makes me nauseous. We don't have kids yet, but plan to, and soon as we are in our mid-late 30s. I'm questioning everything. I want my future kids to have a good relationship with their half-sibling and mother. How do we go forward from here? Edited to add, she is not high conflict. Ex regularly offers us extra days and includes us in activities, like letting us take Kiddo to karate when there was a makeup class so we could see it. Update first, thank you all for your insight. I really needed advice and you guys came through. After reading all the responses, I realized I needed to have it out with him. My gut was telling me something was very wrong. I made a list of talking points and questions and we had it out. He admitted he had exaggerated certain details when telling me about their issues. Really, it was more of bold-faced lying. His ex kissed someone else, yes, but it was after a blowout fight in which he accused her of being a bad mother for leaving for a weekend to say goodbye to her dying grandmother. She went to dinner with an old friend, confided in him, and they kissed once, then she ended the marriage immediately upon returning. I don't condone this, but the context certainly changes things. As for us, his insistence we try for kids soon was less about giving Kiddo a sibling, as he said, and more about him wanting to feel secure because she left him. He was essentially trying to trap me. He lied to suit his narrative and was doing the same in court. It wasn't about the kid, he just wanted to win at any cost. As for their custody battle, I reached out to X to offer my support. I cannot be with someone who is so malicious and conniving. I love that kid and it hurts, but I can't do this anymore. I was never a person to him, I was a uterus and a security blanket. It hurts, but I will survive, and be very, very careful in the future. So that's it. Thanks to everyone who commented. Story 2. My boyfriend is mad that I don't want to get a boob job, so I, F20, have been with a guy, let's call him John, M34, for almost 4 months. We first met just before my 18th birthday but only started going out shortly after my 20th. I was at his place today to watch a hockey game and made an offhand comment that when I was younger, I wanted a boob job because I didn't like that my breasts were big and uneven, the back pain I would get from them, and how I hated that they seemed to make guys over-sexualize teenage me. Without looking away from the TV, John said that I should get a boob job as uneven boobs were a massive turnoff, and that my boobs were so big to the point that they were kinda gross, and part of why he had gotten fully intimate with me yet. He has seen me in just bras and straight topless and I have gone down on him, but we haven't had penetrative sex and he won't go down on me. I just laughed awkwardly and said I wasn't in a place to be able to drop a few $1,000s on a boob job. John shrugged and said he could and would pay for my boob job. I told John that I honestly didn't know if I wanted a boob job anymore. That was 14 to 16-year-old me who was insecure about having what seemed like the biggest chest in her grade, and that 20-years-old me was more confident and kinda liked her boobs, minus when I have to find a bra that actually fits me in both cup and band and the unwanted attention I still get sometimes, lol. John then got mad, like really mad. He slammed his beer can on the table and called me a selfish bitch for not considering his preference, especially since he's offering to pay for the surgery. When I said that I didn't want one right now, or maybe ever, he kicked me out of his house at 10 p.m, on the opposite end of the city of my house, saying that he needs some time apart from me. I ended up catching one of the last buses home, and the entire bus ride he'd been texting me testimony from people who have gotten boob reductions and even them out and telling me to look at how happy they are. He seemed so mad when he kicked me out, but in the texts he's calling me baby and kitten and just texted me the kiss emoji saying he's sorry for yelling at me and that he had just had too much to drink. He had been drinking a lot, more than usually, and asking if we're still on for tomorrow's lunch date. So honestly, I don't really know where we stand right now. 4 days later. Figured I'd give a small update to y'all and thank everyone who commented on my original post. There were 2 common questions I saw, so I'll answer those first. I, F20, had met John, M34, at a bookstore when I was 17. He saw the book I was holding and asked if I had read it already. We ended up having a small conversation about it and he gave me his Snapchat so we could talk books again. I didn't give him my age at the time, but a few weeks later when I turned 18, he saw the Snapchat thing they add to your profile picture and asked me, so I told him it was my 18th. I'm somewhat close with my parents and brother, but not so close as they know I'm with someone. When I'm with him, I just tell my parents that I'm with a friend or at school or work. Some of my closer friends know I'm dating him and the age difference, but most think it's hot or okay because nothing happened until I was already 20, which I did as well. I had been hoping that this was just a misunderstanding and that you guys would help us resolve it, so to see so many people dropping the word abuse and abusive surprised me. But after sleeping on it and reading so many of your comments, I realized I am, as someone of you rightfully put it, dumb, young and immature. Before John, I'd never been with anyone, and maybe that's a part of why I liked him. He was already experienced in life and never seemed to treat me like I wasn't at his level. He called me mature and self-assured, I guess playing into that not like other girls. I'll be honest, I really did like how he treated me. The pet names and compliments he gave always made me feel happy. I never really saw us striking up a friendship as wrong because it wasn't sexual or romantic in nature until well after I had become legal and I was so close to 18 when we first met, but as someone of you pointed out, that might have just been him working on grooming and manipulating me. Someone of you also said that it was only the first request. That if we continued, he'd keep asking me to change things about me, and fuck, I do not want that. I don't want to have to change things about me in order to get someone to stay with me, so that was very eye-opening. I ended up meeting him Tuesday. He love-bombed me, as one of you put it on my original post, and then asked me if I had reconsidered the boob job. So yeah, you guys were right. I told him we were done, I didn't think we were good together anymore, and wished him well. He didn't yell or curse, but said I'd regret leaving him. He did text me a few hours later, but I deleted them without looking. It's been a few days and I'll be honest, a part of me misses him, which I know is dumb, but I've taken your advice and blocked him on everything, so yup, we are over, 100% done. Thank you to everyone who helped open my eyes. Story 3. She breaks so much of my stuff it doesn't seem like an accident anymore. The day after I got my iPad Pro she broke it. She broke my phone twice, she dropped my laptop and dented it, she broke my other iPad, all since she moved in with me in February. Even putting the expensive stuff aside, she breaks tons of other shit. For example, I had all my wool sweaters in a special hamper that I told her to never wash the clothes in it so I can make sure they don't get ruined, but sure enough she washed and dried them all and they all died. Even though sweaters aren't that expensive, individually replacing them cost a ton of money. I kinda think she's doing it on purpose because she thinks it's cute, which would be my fault because when she broke my iPad Pro I told her it was cute. How worried she got about telling me. She says she's just clumsy, but I don't think that's what is happening. We've been together for almost 2 years and I've never noticed any clumsiness. I locked all my shit up in my office when I went to work the past few days since there was another incident, and that upset her a lot because she thinks I can't trust her and I'm treating her like a child. Is it really so wrong to lock up my shit though? She wants to borrow my camera this weekend and I straight up told her no because I know she's going to break it. I'm not using it, but I do wedding photography when I want to bring in some extra cash, so having to buy another camera would really suck. Update. To my surprise, my girlfriend admitted she was breaking my shit on purpose. She says it started because she went through my old Facebook messages and saw that I used to flirt with an old friend who I haven't seen since before we got together anyways. She said since then she's felt like she was stuck in this relationship with me since she lives with me, said I'm dog and a player, that I'm abusive and controlling, that she never loved me. It was crazy. I don't necessarily believe any of that, and I think she just said it all to upset me. Her saying that I'm abusive a player was disappointing because I tried really hard to be a great partner and would have never done anything purposely hurt her, and now I'm worried that she's going to be telling people these lies. I read through some of the Facebook messages with the friend, and nothing I said was even that bad, it was just playful banter and I was single at the time of it anyways. We have talked once since my girlfriend and I have been together, and that was over Facebook chat about how she wanted to buy the car my parents were selling. Since we broke up anyways, I asked her to pay me back for everything she broke, grand total of $5,300 when I include the sweaters, and her response was, I'm moving to Florida. LOL. Okay. It's safe to say I'm probably not getting the money, but that's fine. I'm not even that sad about the breakup, just glad that it's over and glad she moved out without pushing back. It's been stressful and exhausting not trusting her in my own house. Relevant comment. OP, how exactly did this revelation come to light? Did you decide to talk to her about the stuff after your original post? I'm just curious how this all went down, LOL. I'm assuming she was just using you for a place to live because she had no other options and was breaking your shit as a way to stick it to you. But now that she is apparently going to Florida, WTF LOL, she had no problem showing her true colors and admitting to her craziness. But again, I'm curious to hear how this whole conversation started and what all went down. OP's response. I just told her I knew she was breaking my shit on purpose and I wanted to know why, and every time she told me it wasn't on purpose I just stared her down until she eventually told the truth. Worked surprisingly well. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.